back to my channel. So in this video we are going to be doing an updated eyebrow routine. The last time I did an eyebrow routine was in 2015, and I only noticed that because I was trying to teach my best friend how to do her eyebrows, and I was like going through my eyebrow routines and I'm like, I haven't done one since 2015, and I've done my eyebrows completely different since then. That was 2 years ago. So we are going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I'll do one brow on camera and talk you guys all the way through it. And then if you guys still have some questions, just leave them down below in the comment section. Welcome to my face. Up close and personal. So I will be using like a pomade type situation. So if you're not comfortable with it, you can use whatever you like a pencil. You can still use the same technique no matter what the product that you're using. So the first thing I always do is spoolie through my brows, and I haven't gotten them threaded or arched in a very long time, so I'm also going to clean up my brows. But I just spoolie through them to make sure they're all going the same way. And also, if I don't want to pluck everything, I'll use like a little eyebrow archer like this. And this is what I was raised up on, you guys. Like, my mom always used eyebrow archers, and that's what I always used for my eyebrows until I started going to threading ladies, and they absolutely hate these little things. So these hurt significantly less than plucking. So for my eyebrows today, I'm going to be using this NYX eyebrow gel. This is in the shade Espresso. I've been using this for probably about 2 years on and off. I'll go from like this to another product. The only thing I will say with this, if you do go out and buy it, you can get it at Ulta or Walgreens. If you do go out and buy it, you have to work very quickly with this product, because once you place it, like, I usually just put it on like the inside portion of my thumb, or like close to my wrist, but wherever you place it, it will dry, and it also will leave a stain for like the rest of the day. So that's why I put it in the inside of my hand, because how many people really look at that spot? I used to put it on top of my hand, but I hated the brown mark that it left. So I'm going to be using a spoolie or an angled brow brush. This is the number 12 or 14, I don't remember. It's all washed off. It's by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's my favorite eyebrow brush. And I am going to start off by placing the product right underneath. So I'm following this bottom half of my brow, and as you can see, it kind of like goes from like down here up, so I just create a line over. So I just kind of fake it till I make it. I always start in the middle of my brow, near my arch, and then drag whatever is left in towards the front of the brow. Now the front of the brow is where you want to apply the least amount of pressure. That is just like kind of like where the fade will be. So now that I've done the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and do the top. And if you have an arch, you can just naturally follow your arch. I usually make a little one, and then I connect it to that line down at the bottom. And just connect those two to create a point. And then after you've done that, this is when I take a little bit more product and start to fill it in. So now you want to fill in all of that area where you didn't apply any pomade. So the middle part, because the top line and the bottom line should already be filled in. And then I just bring whatever is left on my brush and just start to fade that towards the front of the brow. You don't want to go in and get more product to put it in the front, because you don't want it to be too dark. So now I'm taking more. I'm really going to perfect my arch, because that is where I really like the bulk of my product to be. And then once again, just fade. So now that I'm all filled in, just take the spoolie and brush through, because this is a pomade that once it sets in your brows, it's pretty much set in stone. So I always make sure I go through and brush. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other brow, and then I'm going to come back and start to conceal. Okay, so now that both of my brows are done, I am going to go in and conceal, or more so clean up and carve up my brows. And for that, I'm going to use this Kryolan concealer wheel. I use the shade right here, and it's just a skin tone kind of color. And I'm going to use a flat definer brush from Sigma. Now this brush is an E15. Let me put it in front. It's an E15, and it's just a flat brush that I really like to use to get right underneath of my brow. It just gives me a really clean, precise application. Also, I want to mention to you guys that picking your eyebrow color is hands down one of the most important things. You want to base it off of the roots of your hair. So if you have like that ombre kind of look, you want to go off of the roots of your hair. So if your roots are a little bit more of a taupey or a little bit more of a of a brown, you want to use more of like a taupey light brown as opposed to a blonde, because you want your eyebrows frame your eyes, so they're the most important asset on your face, essentially. Because if you didn't have any eyebrows, you know, it would just be skin and face, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you choose your pomades or your pencils or whatever accordingly. So I'm going to take this, and I usually just start right here, and with this you want to go right underneath of the hairs. You don't want to conceal any hairs off unless you haven't gotten your eyebrows arched or threaded or anything like that, but you want to take this right underneath. And this step is the step that I'm usually the most careful with. I don't really care too much about where I apply my pomade because I know I can go in and cancel that out with concealer if I happen to mess up. So if you ever happen to mess up, don't waste your product by wiping off the entire eyebrow and starting all over unless you're like, okay, this really doesn't look very well. And you can always go in with concealer and clean up and really sharpen and make your eyebrow look like something. So then after I've drawn this line, you don't want to leave your line just like this because then you'll have that halo brow. So I always tell women to drag this down, drag this product down towards your eye, so then you can blend it all away. Because if you leave that line, I promise you, you will look a mess. Eyebrows are also sisters, not twins. So if you are also freaking out that your eyebrows don't look exactly the same, they're not going to look exactly the same because they aren't. Your eyeballs aren't exactly the same. Nothing on a human body is symmetrically even. Nothing. So for your eyebrows to be symmetrically even, it's a bit of a stretch. I mean, some girls get it pretty darn close, but it's not that big of a deal if you don't. You know what I mean? Don't stress yourself trying to sit there and get them 100% perfect. And also, ladies and gentlemen, whomever is watching this video, don't stress yourself about not getting your eyebrows on the first time. The only thing I can tell people is to continue to practice. When you get some time after work, practice doing your eyebrows. You got time before you go out, practice doing your eyebrows. Doing your eyebrows is not gonna come overnight, not one bit. You just have to continue to practice, and all the girls that you see on Instagram and Facebook and everything like that, they didn't get this overnight. They didn't learn how to do their eyebrows overnight. So now I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer, and I don't do all the way across my brows anymore. I just focus on the tail and make sure that this is coming to a point. And with this, you just want to turn your brush sideways and also make sure that you blend that out as well. And I'm taking just a tiny bit of concealer. Alright, and now I'm going to take a Sigma P88 little flat angled brush and just use that to blend everything close and into my skin. Also get down the middle Alrighty guys, this is the end of my eyebrow tutorial, and these are my brows. Also, another thing I want to tell you guys, brows always look a lot more harsh and a lot more in your face without anything else on. I get that a lot when I'm doing my clients' makeup and they see their brows and they're like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, relax. Relax. Wait till your eyeshadow's on, wait till your foundation's on, wait till it all is on and it all comes together. You're gonna be like, eyebrows on fleek, you know? So yeah, you guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, please leave them down below and I will be sure to answer you guys. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.